So apparently, parents are putting their dental fears and anxiety, and it's affecting children as well, and their health and their oral health as well. And to talk more about this, you'll recognise them off the telly. They are life gurus. They are therapists. They are British writers as well. TV presenters, been on This Morning quite a bit. Known as the Speakmans, but that's really informal. I don't want to just call you the Speakmans. It's Nick and Eva. How you doing? You all right?
We're great. Thanks, Darren.
Yeah, we're good. Thank you.
First of all, so I do apologise calling you the Speakmans, but you're okay with that, aren't you? Because that's the brand.
Do you know what, Darren? I mean, literally, we've been on our own and we still get called the Speakmans. It's like it's just levels here, you know.
Fantastic. Right. So what's going on here then? Because yes, I will admit I'm terrified of the dentist. First of all, let's explore very quickly why are we as grown-ups terrified of dentists? Because surely it wasn't that bad when we were kids, was it?
Well, do you know what? The thing is, and what I love about the fact that Bupa Dental Care have gone and done this research and discovered this. Well, I think that, I don't know, let me ask you a question, if I may. If I think about the dentist, just give me one word that you think of.
The drill, the noise.
Right, okay, and there you go, you see. And most people say pain, and they've got it all wrong because, it's not like that anymore. And maybe it used to be, I don't know. But now dentistry is actually pain-free and pain relief. And I think that, the issue that we've had is, back in the day, a lot of people have had bad experiences with dentists. And as a result of that, and that fear that they've had, or the anxiety around the dentist that they've had, their children have picked up on it because children don't listen, they observe. And just like, our kids have the same accents as we do. So children copy, and they've picked up on that anxiety. And obviously this is passed on now to children, and when you think that 38% of parents said that their children are nervous about dental, appointments, it is really quite sad. But I've got to say, it's not the parents' fault.
Yeah, no, I think it does come down to an antiquated view, which from historic dental procedures as opposed to actual and factual dental procedures of today.
It's a really good point, that, because I'm in this exact situation at the moment where my daughter, who is, she's 8, right? And she just had to have a filling done. I think it was her first filling as well at 8 years old. It doesn't help with my other half said, oh, I remember having a filling. And then she recalled a story from when she was a child, and then she thinks, oh my days, this is going to happen to me. And I'm like, it's not though. And then Nana did this thing, Grandma did this thing, right, that really grated on me. I'm going to say it publicly now. She offered a treat to go, if you do this, I'll buy you da-da-da-da-da.
Right, yeah, and that therefore gives the message that it's something that's going to be unpleasant, or
something that you have to endure,
and that you have to be brave for, and that isn't the way. And listen, it is a slip of the tongue, and no parent out there whose child has copied their dental anxiety has done this purposefully or with malice. It's just happened, but. Knowing that it's cyclical, knowing that it's now affecting our kids, knowing that dental hygiene doesn't, it isn't just about our oral hygiene. It has a knock-on effect. Good dental hygiene leads to good physical health and good mental health as well. And therefore, it's really important that we start to be aware, particularly as parents, of how we speak to our children, in front of our children, about dentists' dental experiences. And quite on the contrary, we should make it a very normal, everyday thing. And actually helping our kids to realise how lucky are we that we can go for a painless, quick, nice little time out in the dentist, and quite often you get a sticker at the end of it.
I remember that. I do remember them days. Just very quickly though, is it worth telling our kids, I mean, you would know the answer to this, do we tell our kids, if you don't go to the dentist and you don't brush your teeth and look after your mouth and your oral health, all of this might happen? Do we do the shock story the other way round instead, or not?
Well, what I'd be saying is, if you, obviously we all want to live as long as possible, and one of the ways that we can ensure that that's going to be the case, is by looking after our teeth. And because ultimately our food gives us energy, and the way that we access our food is by using our teeth, and therefore we have to look after our teeth. I think that's a better message, because it's literally, it's all positive. And the thing is, those bad experiences, those experiences in the past, I think a lot of it came down to the fact that we would go in the dentist chair and we had no clue what was happening, and then the next minute you might feel the injection, the next minute you might feel the vibration of the drill, and you weren't aware. But what's changed, one of the big things that's changed, is dentists now, as part of their training, get taught about dental anxiety. So what they now do is say, right, you're going to feel, and what they didn't used to do, and now they do, they will anesthetize, they'll put cream on your gum. So when you have the numbing injection, you hardly feel that, but they'll say you might feel a small prick. And then the next thing is you might hear the drill, but although you can't feel it anymore. So they're telling you all the way along, so you know what to expect and there's no shocks.
Yeah. Before we leave this, by the way, can you give us the top 5 ways that we can get our kids who are now scarred for life with fear, get them back into the dentist, get them back on track again? What do we need to do? The top 5 things you think?
Well, the first thing I would say is we've got to set them down and say, look, we got it wrong, right? As parents, you've got to admit to them and saying, look, we got it wrong, but what you've got to understand, the reason why we got it wrong is because technology and methods has changed. And the best analogy for this is saying, right, if I take you back 20 years, this is what my first mobile phone looked like. Right? Compared to your phone now, right? There was no internet, there was no Wi-Fi, there was nothing on the phone. It was just a phone, and look at the size of it, right? And that gives them an idea of how things have changed from technology point of view, and you need to apply that to the dentist. So you've got to say, we got it wrong.
Yeah, and also I think another really important thing to do is, if they are very nervous or anxious, is speak to the dental practice, who in this day and age, they are very, very motivated to help people feel as relaxed as possible. And you can literally ask the dental practice if you could just pop in with your child so they can have a look around and see that it's nothing scary at all, and that it's actually just, it's a really nice, comfortable, welcoming kind of a place. So I think if you can pop in advance to take away any fears.
When you're not having any treatment.
Yeah, when there is no treatment involved, I think that's a really good thing to do, as is explaining the benefits of, looking after your oral hygiene, and explaining as well, in a day and age where everybody's taking selfies and photos on their mobile phone, how important it is to have a lovely smile. And I think Nick's one of Nick's favourite statements is,
one of my favourite statements is that a good smile never goes out of fashion, right? So then the next thing I would say is that just consider why people become dentists. They become dentists because it's a career that they've chosen, because they want people to have good oral health and they want people to have nice teeth. And, again, so just consider that. No one's out there to hurt you. The dentists are out there to make your life better.
And I think this is number 6, but I'm just going to throw it in. It's just explaining to your child as well that when they go into the dentist, they can say to the dentist, and the dentist will be very accommodating with this, that they have a signal, which you already will do this. If you feel uncomfortable, or if you want me to stop for a minute, you want to ask me a question, just raise your hand, we'll stop, and then I can find out what's going on and we can move forward. So that enables your child to feel that they are in control, and that actually this isn't something they're being forced to do. It's almost like a service, it's like when you go to the hairdressers, it's actually to improve you and your life.
Yeah, and before you disappear, personally for me, can you give my nana a message for me, for my youngster, that treats are not the way, because it's costing me a fortune when I want to try and get her to do something.
Yeah, definitely not. Treats are not the way forward with this one.
Speakmans, Nick and Eva, thank you very much for your time. When are you next on telly, quickly then?
Oh, well, we were on last week, I think, and we'll probably be on in the next week or two.
Yeah, probably next week on the show. So,
yeah, get the phone in.
Fantastic, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day and week. Thank you.
Thanks, Darren. Thanks, you Darren. Too. Nice talking to you.
Was that okay for everybody?
Perfect.
Amazing.
Thank you.